afternoon. You say you support this framework here. How important is it to signal to other Republicans, if you support this framework, that maybe they should come along? We've heard from some who just don't want to touch any sort of bill because of their concerns about the Second Amendment. We've heard about some civil libertarians who are concerned about red flag laws. How important is it for you to, say, I'm for this framework, but if they're resistant to that change?
Well, I think this is an issue each member is thoroughly familiar with and can make an evaluation of what their position ought to be based upon the views of their states. I would add that Senator Cornyn unfolded a poll today in his presentation of gun owners only, just people who own guns, and support for the provisions of the framework is off the charts, overwhelming. I think if this framework becomes the actual piece of legislation, it's a step forward on a bipartisan basis, and further demonstrates to the American people that we can come together, which we have done from time to time on things like infrastructure and postal reform, to make progress for the country.
Back in December, you told us you were interested in what the January 6th committee was doing. You'd be watching it, that the public should see what they found. I'm curious if you have been watching and what you make of what the committee has found so far.
I don't remember saying that I would be watching. I'm focusing on what we're doing here in the Senate, and I think the most important thing we're doing at the moment is the Veterans Bill and the issue forward on these violent crimes we've witnessed.
Leader, thank you. You expressed that you're satisfied with the framework as it exists. Not in that framework is a provision someone wanted to raise the age to buy assault-style weapons to 21 years old. Why should Americans who are 18 years old not be allowed to buy cigarettes, which is something you support, that ban, but should be allowed to buy assault-style weapons?
Good try. I've already told you my view of the framework. If it leads to a piece of legislation, I intend to support it. I think it's progress for the country. And I think that the bipartisan group has done the best they can to get total support. And the background check enhancement for that age group, I think, is a step in the right direction.
Just on the January 6th hearings, it's come out that a number of people who were close to the former president at the time were urging him to just telling him that the election fraud claims were wrong with Bill Barr. Should they have come out and more forcefully speak out against it, and should you have done the same in the aftermath of November 3rd?
Yeah, as I said earlier, Manu, I'm focusing on what we're doing here in the Senate. You all have plenty of news to cover over on the House side. Thank you.
Leader McConnell in the Middle East.